Hi students, in this lecture I am going to discuss inorganic part of KSET 2020 question paper. So first question in the inorganic part is Mendeleev proposed the existence of an unknown element and he named it as Eka aluminium, and this element is, the option given are boron, indium, gallium and silicon, and the correct answer for this question is gallium. So this name has been given by using the language of Sanskrit, that is Eka Dvi Tri. So whatever the name given is for the predicted elements which are lighter than rare earth elements, and here are the few names given by Mendeleev. Eka boron means it is scandium, Eka aluminium is for gallium, Eka manganese for technetium, Eka silicon for germanium. So if we come for the second question, for the cations cerium 3+, europium 3+, lutetium 3+, holmium 3+, the correct order of increasing ionic radii, and the correct option for this is D option, that is lutetium is having lesser ionic radii than holmium 3+, which in turn has lesser ionic radii than europium 3+, and which is in turn has lesser ionic radii than cerium 3+, and here is the series along with their ionic radii. So lutetium 3+ is having 86 picometer, holmium 3+ having 89 picometer, europium 3+ it is having 95 picometer, cerium 3+ 103 picometer. So this is the increasing order of ionic radii. Next, the third question, sulfide ion S2- is isoelectronic with, options given are O2-, Al3+, Na+, and K+. Correct option is K+. So here we need to find same number of electron. So for that one we need to have a thorough knowledge about periodic table. So based on the atomic number we can find the isoelectronic species. So here I taken S block. So this is the general way of finding atomic number. So first we will know this hydrogen. Hydrogen is having atomic number 1. So then if we want to find the atomic number for this S block elements, so we need to remember this one, 2, 8, 8, 18, 18. So if I want to find the atomic number of lithium, then I need to add 2 plus 1, 3. Similarly, if I want to find sodium atomic number, then 8 plus 3 it will give 11. For potassium, 8 plus 11, 19. For rubidium, 18 plus 19 is 37. So this is for S block element. And in S block element we have sodium and potassium. So if I remove one electron for Na+, if I remove one electron, then I am going to have 10 electrons. Means atomic number is equal to number of protons. So number of proton is equal to number of electrons. So if it is having 10 protons, then it is going to have 10 electrons. Similarly, if I remove one electron from potassium, it is going to lead to the formation of K+. Then it is going to have 18 electrons. Similarly, this is for P block elements, and here in the P block element we need to write for helium. Helium it is having 2 atomic number. So if I add 8 plus 2, then neon will have 10 atomic number 10. 10 plus 8 it is going to have 18, that is for argon. Similarly, this will be the case. And here this is decreasing, means if I find this one, then I need to minus 1, so we will get this atomic number. So here I have given the total electrons for all the species. S2-, what they are given is it is having 18 electrons. So we need to find the isoelectronic species, means which of the following will have same electrons, same number of electrons. So potassium is having 18 electrons. So D option is correct. Is the geometries of IBr2+ and Br3- respectively. So options given are tetrahedral and tetrahedral, tetrahedral, trigonal bipyramidal and linear, and linear. So option D is correct. Actually, it has to be bent and linear. So here the option is wrong, because both the case they are given linear, but if you find the shape, then you will realize it is actually bent and linear. So if you come for IBR plus, so by using steric number we can find the shape. Okay, so first step of finding steric number is we need to identify central atom and we need to count their valence electron. So iodine, it is having S2P5, and since it is carrying positive charge, I need to remove one electron, so I'm going to have 6 electrons. Then I need to write a Lewis structure, reasonable Lewis structure. Then I need to find steric number. How we can find steric number is we need to count number of atoms. So these are 2 atoms and 2 lone pair. So steric number comes out to be 4, and it is going to have sp3 hybridization. So if it is having sp3 hybridization, then it is going to have tetrahedral shape. But due to presence of this lone pair of electron, it is going to have bent shape. Okay, so it is not going to have linear geometry or linear shape. So next is Br3 minus, same case, central atom is Br and its valence electrons are S2P5, and it is going to have negative charge. So 5 plus 2, 7 electron. So it is having negative charge. For one negative charge I need to add 1 electron, so it will become 8 electron. So possible reasonable Lewis structure will be, so it is surrounded by 8 electrons, and I am going to join these atoms. So number of atom attached to this central atom is 2 and number of lone pairs 3. So steric number comes out to be 5, and it is going to have trigonal bipyramidal geometry. And in the trigonal bipyramidal geometry, I need to place the lone pairs at equatorial position in order to minimize the repulsion, and I need to place these atoms on the axial. So it is going to have linear shape due to presence of these 3 lone pairs. So the correct option will be bent and linear, but here they are given linear. Next is the hybridization of central atom in MnO4 minus, NO2 minus, SO2 respectively, and the correct option for this one is SD3, sp2, sp2. And here is the explanation. MnO4 minus in this central atom is in +7 oxidation, so there is no electrons in d and s orbital. So all oxygen is going to donate its electrons, and the hybridization comes out to be Sd3. And if it is having Sd3 hybridization, then the geometry will be tetrahedral. Okay, and if you come for NO2 minus, so for this one it belongs to p block element, so I can apply Vesper theory, and by using steric number I can find out the hybridization. So in this case, nitrogen is the central atom and it is having 5 valence electron. Since it is having negative charge, I am going to add 1 electron, so it will become 6. And if I write Lewis structure and if I join the corresponding atom, steric number will be, these are the 2 atoms, okay, and there is 1 lone pair. So steric number comes out to be 3. So it is, so for 3 steric number 1s, and I am going to take 2p, so hybridization will be sp2. And for SO2, central atom is sulfur and its valence electron configuration will be S2P4. So total it is going to have 6 electron. So if I write the Lewis structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 electrons surrounding the central atom, and I am going to join this oxygen, since oxygen has a valency of 2. So if I find steric number, so number of atoms 2, lone pair 1, so steric number again it is 3, and if it is 3 then it is going to have hybridization sp2. The bond order for NO plus, NO minus and NO follows the order B, that is 2 is lesser than 3, 3 is lesser than 1. So here I am going to take NO first, nitrogen 7 electrons and oxygen 8 electron, over total 15 electrons. So by using the total electron, we can easily find out the bond order. For that one, here is the some trick, that is, if we have 14 electron, then we will have bond order 3. Then from this point, if I go this side or if I go that side, there will be decrease in the bond order. That is, if I am having 13 electrons, then the bond order will be 2.5. If I am having 12 electrons, bond order will become 2. Similarly, if I increase the electron from 14 to 15, the bond order will decrease from 3 to 2.5. For 16, it is 2. So we need to remember this one in order to write bond order straight away. So without writing any electronic configuration, all those things. So based on this, 15 means bond order will be 2.5. For NO, bond order will be 2.5. For NO plus, I need to remove one electron because it is carrying positive charge, so it will become 14 electron. For 14, bond order will be 3. And if you come for NO minus, I need to add 1 electron for 15 electron species, so it will become 16. So for 16, the bond order will be 2. So in the option, in this question, they asked the increasing bond order. So that is 2 is less, that is NO minus. Here this is NO minus and it is having bond order of 2, whereas 3, that is NO, it is having bond order 2.5, and if you come for NO plus, it is having bond order 3. So this is the order question. Which of the following is the most acidic in nature? So here the given is alkaline S block, alkaline earth metals, and the option which is acidic in nature is beryllium oxide is the most acidic in nature. So why? Because if you go down the series, then electropositive character increases, and which is inversely proportional to the acidity. So here electropositive character increases means strontium oxide, calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, their electropositive character increases, at the same time their acidic character decreases. So hence this is the correct option, beryllium oxide. Next question, that is, in the reaction H2CO3 plus H2O is going to give HCO3 minus HCO plus. The Bronsted acids respectively are, option C is correct, that is H2CO3 H3O plus. So it is on the basis of acid base concept, that is Lorey-Bronsted theory. So if you see H2CO3 is a weak acid, it combines with weak base, then it is going to give strong base and strong acid. Here this H2CO3 and H3O plus, they are going to act as Bronsted acids. So remaining two are Bronsted base, and it is a conjugate acid base pair and it is in equilibrium. So always in Lorey-Bronsted theory, equilibrium will be from strong to weak side. So always this side, left side, will be the major thing, not the right side. But in this option, Bronsted acids are H2CO3, H3O plus. So if you come for next question, lithium nitride on complete hydrolysis yields lithium hydroxide and ammonia. So here is the reaction. Lithium nitride on hydrolysis will give 3 molecules of lithium hydroxide and 1 molecule of ammonia. So here is the Lewis structure and how this hydrolysis will take place. So it is going to form ammonia and 3 molecules of lithium hydroxide. Next question is the total number of bond pairs and lone pairs of electron present in H3PO4. So here is the structure of H3PO4, and if you count number of bond pairs, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and if I consider this pi bond, then it will become 8 bond pairs. Okay, and 8 lone pairs. So option C will be correct. And if I am not considering this one, if I neglect pi bond, then it will become 7. So according to options given, I need to consider this pi bond. Okay, then it will become 8 bond pair, or else whatever the options given will become wrong, because if I consider only sigma bonds, then it will become 7 bond pairs. And if I count a lone pair, this oxygen is having 2, 4, 6 and 8 lone pair of electron. For this one, we need to know the structure. Next question is an octahedral complex of formula M, AB, CD, E2, where AB and CD are unsymmetrical bidentate ligand and E is unidentate, can have. Option A is correct, that is 6 geometrical isomers and 4 of them are optically active. So here is the 6 geometrical isomers. So these 4 are cis and they are optical. So cis isomers are optically active, whereas 2 remaining trans isomers possible for this coordination complex, they are optically inactive because they are going to possess plane of symmetry. So total 6 geometrical isomers and 4 of them are optically active. Next is, among the following, the complex that absorb longest wavelength. So this is on the basis of spectrochemical series. So here whatever the complex given, in this we need to go with weak field ligand and strong field ligand. Here the fluoride will become weak field ligand, whereas ethylene diamine will become strong field ligand, and this complex is going to absorb at 770 nanometer, because the crystal field splitting will be minimum in the case of weak field ligand. Then with this relation, if energy of splitting will be lesser, then wavelength will increase. So on the basis, C is correct. And next question is, nickel bromide reacts with this phosphine at low temperature to give a red colored complex A, which is on warming to 25 degree forms green colored complex B. The observed magnetic moment of A and B are 0 and 3.2 mu B. The geometries of A and B, the correct answer is square planar and tetrad. So here is the explanation. Nickel bromide will react with this phosphine and it is going to form a complex of coordination number 4. And we know coordination number 4, there is 2 possibilities. That is, it can form square planar complex or tetrahedral complex. So if it is going to form square planar complex, then the hybridization will be dsp2, and we know there won't be any unpaired of electrons, then it will become diamagnetic and its magnetic momentum will become 0. Okay, and if it is going to attain tetrahedral geometry, then obviously it is going to have 2 unpaired of electrons, then it will become paramagnetic, and based on that one, it is going to have geometries of square planar and tetrahedral. Question for complex. So these are the 4 octahedral complex, and what they asked is the correct order of decrease in energy of ligand to metal charge transfer, and the correct option is C. And next question, aqueous solution of hexaaqua manganese has very light pink color. The best reason here, this complex, it is both Laporte and spin forbidden. For having very light pink color, the best reason what we can give is the DD transition are orbital allowed and spin forbidden. Means due to some relaxation, DD transition will become orbitally allowed, but it is spin forbidden. Then it is going to have light pink color. If you come for next question, the total valence electron in the given complex. So it is on the basis of counting total number of valence electrons. So the answer will be 48. So here is how we are going to calculate the total valence electron. Here the 2 hydrogens will give 1 electron, and from 1 ruthenium we are going to have 8 electrons, and this CO, it is a neutral ligand, it is going to donate 2 electrons, and this one PH phosphine, so it is going to have remaining 3 electrons. So 1 electron will be given to one metal and remaining 2 electrons will be given to second metal. So here we need to consider it as mu2. Okay, since it is bridging, so it is will be considered as mu2. So hence it is going to give 3 electrons. So since this is present twice, so 2 into 6, so total valence electron will be 48. Okay, and next is the total number of metal-metal bond in RH4CO12. It is 6. So how we are going to calculate the metal-metal bond is by finding total valence electron. Okay, so this is total valence electron comes out to be 60, and again we need to minus the total valence electron by n into 18, that is 72 minus 60, we are going to get 12. So in order to find metal-metal bond, we need to divide B by 2, that is 12 by 2 will give you 6. So hence this RH4CO12 has 6 metal-metal bond. Next question is oxidative addition of HHCHCC bond to a metal complex follows, and there are several pathways, but here what they asked is HHCHCC, that is hydrogen and hydrocarbons, and it is going to follow 3-centered concerted pathway. Okay, according to Wade's rule, the structure type of B5H9 option Nido is correct, and this is the explanation for B5H9. We can write like this, and if we write it will belongs to Nido. So this is the general formula. BnH2n minus will have Closov type structure, BnHN4 minus will have Nido, and BnHN6 minus will have Arkney. But here B5H5 4 minus will corresponds to BnHN4 minus. So hence it is going to have Nido type of structure. Next question, reaction between tetrachlorosilane and lithium aluminum hydride results in. So if you look at the reaction, tetrachlorosilane upon treatment with lithium aluminum hydride, it is going to give silane, lithium chloride, aluminum chloride. But in the option given, C will match, but at last they are given aluminum hydride, but it has to be silane, lithium chloride and aluminum chloride. So C option will be correct option. So if I consider silane and lithium chloride, so last one will be not aluminum hydride, it should be aluminum chloride. Next question, XPX bond angle for POX3, where X is fluoro-chloro-bromo. Here they are asked the order which is having greater bond angle. So option A is correct. So this is the order of bond angle. Means POBr3 is having greater bond angle than POCl3, which in turn has greater bond angle than POF3. Next question, the filling of molecular orbitals takes place according to. Option D is correct. That is all of the mentioned above. Means filling of electrons into the molecular orbital will follow Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So option D is correct for this question. So these are the inorganic part questions. Thank you.